Welcome to the Broadway Shuffle. We have a special reaction episode to the Texas Tech Transfer Portal Haul with Zyler and Conrad. I'm Brennan. Welcome, Red Raiders. We hope you're having a great weekend. No football this weekend. Well, I guess you could watch the Army and Navy game, but we've got enough Red Raider news to talk about. Conrad, Zyler, man, I mean, Texas Tech Twitter, Red Raider Sports, everything has been in a frenzy the last couple days. The bag has been opened, it looks like, and we are not done shopping yet. It is Christmas season, it's holiday season, and the Red Raiders are for sure at the top of the list when it comes to willing to buy presents for it looks like almost any player in the portal. So Zyler, Conrad, we're going to get into our initial thoughts here, some players to potentially look at as we continue to bring people into our team, and then also kind of look at what some of these players will bring to the table next season as well. Conrad, I'll go to you first, man. Overall thoughts on the portal up to this point, and what is your excitement level about some of these guys?
Man, it's early, but we're killing it. The Matador Club, all the donors, us included, Joey, Blanchard, all those guys, they're killing it. We're getting some absolute studs. We have, I think, by all metrics, a top 5 class in the country right now, if not the best class in the country. So we may have to start giving ourselves a national championship for portal, like the Aggies give themselves national championships for everything else. So we're killing it in the portal, guys. I mean, Red Raider fans, you should be excited. Some of the dudes that Zyler's going to mention here are going to be big pieces for you next year. They're going to start for you, and they're going to contribute a lot. And best news about it is there's always more. And we're going to take some more guys. We've only got, I believe, 5 right now. You're going to see some more commits, more on campus here in the coming days. And it looks like we're willing to open the bag for the players, and just makes you even more excited for next year. So, Zyler, do you have any other overall thoughts on this transfer portal class so far?
Yeah, you're absolutely lapping the field right now. You have by far the best portal class assembled so far. I don't think you'll end up with the number 1 class just due to the numbers. I think you're only going to take 10 to 11, and you've already got 5, but you've landed 3 highly rated 4-star guys out of the portal. Zambrano, Hunter Zambrano, the tackle out of Illinois State, I believe is where he's from. I want to double check myself there.
Yes,
I want to make sure that I didn't.
Yep.
Yeah, that's your highest rated guy so far, and then we'll get into some of the other commits here in a moment. But from a high level, man, you are definitely backing up what they were talking about during the season when they said, hey, just wait for portal season, just wait for portal season. You are out there locking up elite talents. These guys a lot of them have dozens of Big Ten and SEC offers, and they are coming to your campus and they are not leaving. You are clearly, I'm not going to say that, the facilities or just Joey's charisma is sealing the deal here. I think you are absolutely shelling out the bag right now for, top flight talent and really trying to make a push for a 2025 title. You have added excellent players.
Yeah, and we'll get into the specifics here in a second, but I did want to address, there's 2 big position groups, Z, that I'm on the lookout for, and I'm excited about some of these guys. Looks like you're shoring up your secondary to help, with the loss of Lux and Baskerville and some of these guys, and we'll get into Balfour here as well in a second too. But the defensive line and offensive line, are there anyone still, you mentioned Zambrano, that we could be on the lookout for coming up here soon? You mentioned we probably have 5 or 6 spots left we're looking to add. Do you expect that to be pretty D-line, O-line heavy? And that'd be kind of my hope, because those were just such big needs from the 2024 season.
Yeah, if you're looking at big splash additions, I think you're very much in the lead for a Big 12 all-conference defensive tackle. His name is not officially in the portal yet, but just be on the lookout for that. A absolute monster on the inside. There are rumors about some other power conference offensive linemen. I think you'll take at least 2 more, and I think you're going to take some pretty good ones. I think the biggest need that you're looking for right now is a lockdown left tackle. I think all of this is kind of moot if you don't necessarily solve that point. And then, like Brennan said, how do we shore up the trenches? We need some bigger bodies on the inside, especially if we're transitioning to a 3-4. You're going to need some monsters at the nose tackle position and at some of those defensive end spots. Like I said, I would keep your head on a swivel. There's a kid on campus right now, and he's a younger kid, redshirt freshman, that I think is really, really good. He would be a great add because you'd get 3 more years with him. And he's a humongous player. So be on the lookout for that in the next couple of days. I've just been incredibly impressed with how ruthless we have been in the portal. We are getting guys on campus very quickly and getting them committed very quickly. You are smoking the Big 12 competition when it comes to this. Nobody's going to even be close to you, I think, this cycle.
Wow. That's a hot take there, man. I mean, this is something that, you had mentioned that Cody Campbell and these guys addressed during the season, like the I will tweet, and all these things. And we're seeing that come to fruition, and it's still early in the window. And we're still 2 weeks away from our bowl game. Conrad, thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to go back to kind of what Zyler said about like why these guys aren't leaving campus. And I do think a component in this day and age has to be the amount of money you're willing to pay them. That is obviously a component. But I think when you look at the facilities that we have, the indoor, the Womble, the new South End Zone, the best stadium in the Big 12, the fan base that is second to none in the country. I mean, you have a lot of things going for you. The great city of Lubbock, Texas. I mean, all these components mixed into one pot, and Papa Joey is just mixing up. He's just mixing up these ingredients, and he's putting a great meal in front of these guys, and he's just saying, why wouldn't you want to be a part of this? And I think his charisma and his belief and his love for this university and what he's already been able to accomplish in 3 years speaks volumes for why they should want to come here. I mean, and he's not going to do this, but the numbers speak for themselves. He could literally walk into the room and say, look at what Texas Tech has become since I got here 3 years ago. You have 3 straight winning seasons in the Big 12. You have 3 straight winning seasons. You have you've got a great home record under Joey. I think we've lost 4 times under him, 4, maybe 5 times in 3 years. It's unbelievable. And to go into this room and say, hey guys, why wouldn't you want to be a part of this? Like, something is building here, something is happening. You're also putting yourself in a spot in the Big 12 when revenue sharing kicks in that you're not actually going to have these massive capital campaigns to get all of these facilities built. You're going to say, hey, give your money to the Matador Club, give your money to NIL, and you're going to be able to get even more guys in that are going to help your team immediately. So if you just put all of that in perspective, you have something here that is special. And you've got players already on the roster. You've got quarterbacks, you've got receivers, you need some O-line, D-line, but you're putting something together that could be really, really special here in the years to come. So if you look at that from a big perspective and you consider all of those things, it should not be any surprise to anybody that Texas Tech is leading the way in terms of portal recruitment right now in the country.
That's well said, man. Well, Z, get into a little bit of some of these guys. I know we've got some tape on them as well. So if you are watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see this, and Spotify will have it as well. If you're on Apple, you won't be able to see this if you're listening. But as well, while I'm on that subject, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, as well as we'll have updated reactions throughout the portal season with bowl games. And we've got some fun interviews scheduled to come up for you guys. One that will be releasing on Monday. So, okay, Z, show us who you got up first.
Yep. So first guy we're going to talk about, and I think this is obviously the most fun to watch, and it's the easiest to digest. Once again, I'm not going to claim to be any sort of film expert. I don't do this for a living. It's just fun to kind of watch highlights. But Reggie Virgil,
yes.
He commits to you from Miami. Yeah, he commits to you from Miami, Ohio. Absolute stud. He only caught 41 passes last year, but it was for 816 yards and 9 touchdowns. He only has 1 year of eligibility left, which I like. That gives your young receivers some time to grow and develop and be ready for the following season. But he picked Tech over Oklahoma, Pitt, Florida, Michigan State, Florida State, Miami, UCF, Illinois, Georgia Tech, West Virginia, Arkansas, and Michigan. So those are only the announced offers. I'm sure he had plenty of other interest. He is going to be a really, really fun player for you. I'm going to share just kind of a quick clip of what he's kind of got. And let's get this going. Give me just a moment. You're going to be looking at just a really, really, really fast player. He's somebody that's going to be a burner. We'll watch this right here. You can just tell that, man, this guy has got elite foot speed. He's up there at the top right there. He's just going to burn. And that's Cincinnati. So that's a, Big 12 foe. And he's just absolutely dusting that guy. Leaves him completely in the dust.
Wow.
Monster touchdown. Great player. You're going to see him again. Just watch how fast he is off of the line. This guy's going to have absolutely no chance keeping up with him here. It's something that's going to be really effective for your offense this year. Somebody that can just really stretch the field. I mean, that guy is 5 yards behind him, and he has to slow down for the ball, and you're not going to catch him once he gets it. Absolutely. Now, I'm not going to testify to the quality of the Eastern Michigan secondary. That guy's just really slow.
No, I heard they had one of the best in the Mack this year. Yeah.
Yep. So you're also going to see ball skills there. Yeah, really, really good player.
Dude.
Touchdown.
This guy looks better than Micah Hudson.
Yeah, maybe.
Mike
Who knows?
Potentially. It looks like. What a replacement this was. What an upgrade this is.
Yeah. So this is the last little clip on him. But once again, the thing that jumps out to me is just how quick he is off of his breaks. Like, those guys just don't have a chance. If you put it up there and you just lead him a little bit, he's going to go all the way down there. He's going to go get it. He's going to be a great deep threat for you. Now, I don't think this is going to be a guy that is going to be a Josh Kelly-esque player that, is getting all those 5 to 10 yard routes where it's elite route running, something that, you can rely on third downs. I don't think that's what you're going to have here. I think this is going to be a huge big play threat. Imagine, I don't want to say this name, but imagine Dre McCray if he was way taller and way faster and had way better ball skills. That's kind of where
So that's
I would
not
describe.
Dre McCray though.
I don't want to speak poorly on Dre McCray. He did good things for you in kickoff, and he was really highly regarded when he got to
That's
your
very
school.
kind of you.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really fun player for you.
So he'll
The other guy.
Real quick. So you don't think he'll fill the Kelly role? Who do you think would kind of expect to fill that role? Are you going to look for that in the portal, or do you think an Aiken or Douglas might kind of creep in there, or maybe a Kelby Vastlin that we'll see some of in the bowl game? Do you have any ideas on that?
Yeah, I think they'll have to. You got to wait and see what you got once they get on campus. The guy that I would really love to be on your roster is the kid out of Cal, Isaiah Kelly. He will be visiting. He's in between Nebraska and I think Florida State or something like that. I can't remember who the third school is, but yeah, he's going to be on campus next week, and that would be my dream because he is also a young player. I think he's a sophomore, so you'd have him for several years.
Okay.
That would be what I'd be wanting to do, but I don't want to count my eggs before they hatch. I think Kelby could do it. I think maybe Caleb Douglas could do it. I think you've got some talent that can make it happen in the receiver room. If you get Kelly, or I forget, the Isaiah kid out of Cal, your receiver room is going to be locked and loaded. You've got young talent. You've got experienced talent. It looks significantly better than what you were looking at the end of the year. So,
okay, who's next? Who do we got up next?
Yeah, the next guy that I want to share is a player named Bryce Pollock. He comes over to you, and I don't have like a full highlight breakdown on him, but he is a sophomore out of Mississippi State, extremely highly rated. One of the best players that you could have added in the portal from the cornerback position. He's 6'1", 190 pounds. In the SEC this year, he had 72 tackles, 10 pass breakups, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception in his 2 years with the Bulldogs. Top 5 corner in the portal. The connection here is Darcel McBath, who is rumored to be your next defensive backs coach, who's currently on staff. But yeah, he was a tech lean all the way. And yeah, I'll show you just one little thing on him. And some of his best games were against really, really good teams. He played really well against against Georgia. And you'll see some of that here. So this is Bryce Pollock. Obviously not the best. This is a highlight angle, but you're going to see him get an interception right here. Really, really good cornerback. This is going to be a guy that I'm almost certain starts for your team. He's going to be the Braylon Lux replacement, and then you're going to see another interception here. So really, really fun player. Somebody that's going to make a huge impact on your defense, and he's young. You're going to get him for at least 2 more years. So that's the even better part, is he is not just a one and done. So really, really fun player here.
He picked off Carson Beck twice.
I was about to say that.
That's something that's not that hard to do, though, if we're being real honest.
Yeah. So yeah, is that a big credit to him? Who knows? Yeah. That kind of remains to be seen.
Hey, it's still 2 picks. Still 2 picks. Exactly, I'll take it all day.
Yeah, and then the other guy. Go ahead, Brennan.
Or no, go ahead.
You've added, and you're done in the secondary. You added a guy named Dante Balfour out of Charlotte. Probably just a depth piece, I think, in my mind. But really, really good. Out of high school, he had offers from pretty much any school in the country. He ended up at North Carolina, then Charlotte, and now he'll finish out his career at Texas Tech. But fun player. I think he has really proven and experienced depth. He's your Jalen Peoples replacement, and I think that's a big upgrade. I'm excited to have some experience and some versatility in that cornerback room. But yeah, really interesting player out of Charlotte is Dante Balfour.
Well, there's one guy that you've already dubbed a nickname for, and that's the Great White Knight. And Cole, I don't even really know how to say his last name out of North Dakota State. Is it Wisniewski? Is that?
I think that's how you say it. I don't want to.
I don't want to make.
Just say Cole W.
Cole W. Out of North Dakota State, man. This guy, FCS stud. Coming over here to kind of looks like he might fill that CJ Baskerville role is what I would expect out of him. But you've got probably the best nickname for a guy
Yeah,
in the portal.
maybe I won't go calling him the Great White Knight, but that's what I was saying whenever I was like, dude, this guy's going to be awesome. I hope we can get him.
That's an
but yeah,
amazing nickname.
I
Wouldn't
don't
that
know
be
if we'll-
awesome? Would you
when
not
Cole-
like someone to call you that, Zyler? The Great
I don't
White
know.
Knight.
I don't know.
would
Well,
if you're dubbed that nickname, you've got to be a stud. If not, you're gonna die execution style, like Game of Thrones or something. I don't know.
I don't know. But to his production. So he didn't really play much in 2024, missed it to an injury, but he should be good for the spring. He had 98 tackles and 8 interceptions in his 2023 season. So 8 interceptions in a season is kind of a crazy stat. I can't actually believe that somebody was able to pull that off. Granted, FCS level, but still, that's not necessarily something that's easy to do regardless of level. I'm going to shout out Ben Golan here. He's got the tape on this
Zyler,
guy.
can you
You're going to
mute that? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that sounds.
Oh, I'm
on
sorry.
Z.
Okay, sorry, forgive me. Yeah, so this is Cole right here. You're going to see him. They're playing University of Northern Iowa. That's him right there. Look at that guy run. Look at him gallop.
Look
There's
at the
your,
Great White Knight. He's going to save his
Oh my
princess.
goodness.
Somewhere he's
He's going to save his princess.
Man,
look at
this is
that.
going to suck if he doesn't get a touchdown. Okay, there you go.
Oh, he
That
got
would
okay.
be
There he is.
99-yard. But yeah, really lengthy and lanky corner. And from the guys on staff that I've talked to, apparently he's going to be a really great culture guy. They said they really enjoyed meeting with him. One of their favorites all portal cycle. They said he's just a high character guy, high culture guy, going to be a good fit in the locker room. And that's something that you're really going to want, especially at a safety position, a guy that's going to be, semi-leading your team. I mean, he just levels that poor player from Missouri State. Probably targeting, probably ejected. But
Well, and North Dakota State, yes, FCS, but one of the most powerful programs, honestly, in the country at any level with what they've been able to do at that level. They are consistently ranked in the top 5 at that program.
Yep.
That is a high culture, always well coached, disciplined football program.
Yep.
And so it doesn't surprise me at all that Cole is going to fit right in and bring a lot of that leadership style to Lubbock, which is needed in this era. You need guys like that, especially at the back of your defense. So, Conrad, if you had to pick one guy out of this so far, and we'll be back for the next edition of a Portal Reaction too once we get more names coming in, but so far, who is your favorite player that we've added?
That's so hard. I mean, I think it's interesting looking at, the Great White Knight. We're not even going to remember his name, and neither are our listeners. We're just going to call him the Great White Knight.
Hey, we don't know
Looking
his
at
last name, so I don't think we need to.
I think
We
it's
just dubbed it.
Wisniewski. That could be a great. I mean, he's going to be a great ad. I mean, it's going to mean a lot for you to have a guy like that. But I think in my mind, Hunter Zambrano, it has to be him because the offensive tackle, because you were so poor on the offensive line last year, and your quarterback was still able to throw for 27 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, over 3,000 yards, and play really well in a lot of games. I'm going to keep banging the table for Baron Morton with those stats because that is unbelievable, especially behind the offensive line that he had to play behind last year. You give him more protection with his arm talent. You give him more protection with his experience now, 2.5 year or a year, almost 2 full seasons, let's say, as a starter, just with all the games he's played throughout his career. I think that's going to be a big get for you. So Hunter Zambrano for me right now, because the dude is huge. I mean, he's unbelievably big, and he's going to be an imposing force for you on the offensive line. So I know that's maybe not the sexiest pick. The Great White Knight is obviously the sexy pick, or the Virgil from Miami of Ohio. But I'm just really excited about Zambrano. Zyler, do you have a favorite pick or favorite player that we have? Maybe we haven't added him yet.
yeah, the best odds are always the one in the future. I like Virgil. I don't know that he fits the biggest need that you have on your roster, but definitely fills a need. Zambrano's got to be it for me. His film, Justin over at Red Ritter Sports did a really good breakdown. When they played Iowa this year, that's an elite defense, very good pass rush, very good edge players. He was great. Only allowed 1 pressure, which did turn into a sack, but really, really good player playing at the highest level. I mean, that Iowa defense would have been the best defense you played all year, and he was very sound technically. Going to have to work on a few things, maybe with his form, and maybe needs to add a bit of bulk. But really, really solid player, and fits a huge need for you. He is sharpied in as a starter for me. I don't know how. It'll either be at right guard or right tackle, but he is 100% going to be a starter for you next year, and that's a huge need. So he's probably the best one, and he's a top 15 player in the portal right now. So, and he was your first visit, he got in and then he immediately committed, canceled all his other visits, and nobody else even got a chance to pitch for him. So
It's
you were
amazing.
so effective in locking him down.
I bet you Clay, I can just see it right now. Clay McGuire in his office, looking over the stadium, and a plane's just running by, and it's with its steam coming off. It's ZAM, his last name, across the sky,
Go ahead,
and he's
spell it
just
out.
sitting
Go ahead,
back.
Spell it out, man. Yeah,
I'm not.
you
I
got
don't think ZAMBRANO. I think that's
Very well done.
Zambrano.
There you
I
go.
don't know. Spelling bee. Credit to me. I can just see it right now. He's probably elated right now, looking at what the setup looked like last
that was
year.
a great segment, right?
Yeah, that was. I fumbled that bad, but I was trying to be creative here, and
but you know who
just trying to
won't be
picture
fumbling
Clay
this
McGuire's
year?
life right now.
We
Who
won't
won't?
be fumbling this year because we have a great offensive line and we'll just be running into the end zone. So
There you go.
Mhm.
And that's another group as we wrap up here quick. Running back, I know we're still looking to maybe add a veteran guy that can come in. I know we're not fully ready to hand the reins to Jacoby and Cameron yet, but we'll be interested to see what running back. I know we've been rumored for a couple guys. That'll be interesting to see it'll be interesting to see who commits from that position as well. So I know running back, defensive line, and O-line are some of the key position groups to look out for over the next couple weeks, but got to be excited, man. I think Z, great job on breaking down some of those guys, and Conrad, the excitement of what is to come with this program and where we're at, and with revenue sharing changing and with what we needed to do this offseason to make a difference in the Big 12. It looks like we are well on our way to doing that and to competing next year for a Big 12 title. We were close this year, just weren't quite ready yet. It looks like going into next season, we should have a roster that is capable of winning this conference. And that's all we can ask for as Red Raider fans as we look forward into the future in this new era of college football. So
Yep.
I cannot wait to see who else we add. I'm very excited, but I am tempering my expectations because there have been hauls in the past where you thought, man, this guy's going to be great, and he wasn't, or necessarily. You just never know once guys get to a new program, new level. So I don't want to sound pessimistic here. I think all these guys are going to make an impact for you, but want to see us add some more depth on the O-line and defensive line specifically as well before I start tooting the horn of like Big 12 champs in 2025. But all that to be said, great job to Texas Tech and the athletic brass and the Matador Club, and to Joey, and credit to those guys for delivering on their promise, and can't wait to see what's in store next. So,
Yep.
All right, Conrad,
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and close us out with a final send-off? Maybe I'll give you one more try there on the Clay McGuire end zone plane. You want to try another thing to end the show? Or
That was weak, guys. I'm sorry for that. I embarrassed myself. If you're listening, please don't come at me too hard in the comments.
Conrad, you should tease who we're having on the show this weekend.
Yes, we do have a special guest coming on Sunday night. He played last year for the Red Raiders and a couple years before, and he was absolutely your best defensive player that you had, and your first team All Big 12. So I won't say his name, but I'll just leave it there. He'll be on Monday's show. Supposedly, that's what we're shooting for. We're going to make that happen, and we're excited to introduce you, Red Raider Nation, to one of the best defensive players you had on your roster in a very, very long time, maybe since Zach Thomas.
Oof, that is high praise there. And you might not be far off.
Tell me I'm wrong.
That guy is in your your ring of honor. So we'll see what happens there. So I don't know who you're talking about, but we'll find out Monday. So, all right. Well, for Zyler and Conrad, I'm Brennan. Thank you, Broadway Shufflers, for checking out the show. You can like this video, subscribe to our channel. It helps us out a lot. And yes, that is Zyler's nickname for all of you loyal subscribers to our show. And we can't wait to keep adding more as we trek through the portal and on our way to a Big 12 championship 2025. I'm calling it here. The hype train is here. The Kool-Aid factory is humming, and we will see you guys on Monday for a special guest interview. So wreck 'em, and we'll see you next time.